We appreciate you joining us here on America's Retirement Headquarters, home of the Retirement Guys formula at America's Medicare Associates with Nolan Baker and Dave Ross. ARHQ.com is the website. It's ARHQ.com. The phone number, 419-794-3030. Sometimes we hear about people intending to delay their retirement and work past 70. Well, good luck with that. Certainly hope that happens. But a recent study found the average over 50 worker expects to retire at 67, and the average American winds up retiring earlier at 62, often because they were forced into early retirement. So I have to wonder, do you have questions who've changed their retirement date from later to sooner? And how do you go about readjusting their financial plans to make that feasible?
I would say, Chris, I have seen that more often than not. And, you have to have a plan, I think, to look at forced early retirement. So it's oftentimes very common that people say, you know what, things are great. I'm going to probably work here for a couple more years. And I could see we're in the study, it says age 67. But, let me share a story with you. I was a couple of weeks ago meeting with a client, and what she explained to me is that she's worked for the same company her entire adult life. And this company was recently purchased by somebody else. The new owners came in, and the new owners said, everybody here, you have to complete a new employment application, and you'll have to go through a complete employment process, and we're going to decide if we offer you or somebody else the job. She felt just like in this situation. She was like, you know what? I've dedicated my entire career to this company, and they want me to fill out a job application and go through the whole resume process all over again. She's like, phooey on that. I'm in good shape. I'm just going to go ahead and retire now. I think she falls into that category at about age 62. Had another gentleman that I recently met with in the trucking industry. Similar situation. The new rules and regulations that are coming out that are being, forced into his business. He's just like, you know what? This is time for me to kind of exit stage left. I've done what I wanted to, and I've been good. And then I've also seen in other situations, I've seen the other flip into the scale where the other half of the time it's, an unexpected healthcare crisis that comes up. It could be them or a loved one, and, all of a sudden they're dealing with the issues of, cancer or some type of chronic illness, and they're saying, I wanted to work till 67, but I just can't physically. I can't take the stress, or I can't take the health. I've got to put myself first. So what you want to do is, if you, think about being in a forced situation, have the plan that you plan on working for a long time. But, just like they taught me in the United States Marine Corps, is have a backup plan, and then run that backup plan so you know what it looks like today. Because the last thing you want to do is have something unexpected happen, and it puts you in a crisis situation. And in a crisis situation, without running through that, that's oftentimes where you can have some of these mistakes that come in, and they can be costly mistakes. Look, this is your retirement. You get one shot at it. You want to get it right. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to, number one, assess your current financial situation. Number two is I want you to ensure that you have an emergency fund in place. You should have 6 months worth of living expenses built up. Number three is I want you to evaluate your retirement income sources and think about ways that you could explore what is called a bridge option. So if it's age 65 before you're on Medicare, you're going to need a bridge for your health insurance costs from 62 to 65. If you want to delay taking Social Security, I oftentimes don't think taking Social Security at 62 is a good idea. You need a bridge, and that bridge could be pulling money out of your 401k or retirement assets. Number four is you're going to need to review your investment strategies. Sometimes people unexpectedly lose their job because of something that's happening bad in the economy. Right now we have a healthy labor employment market, but in a recession, there could be just the opposite of that. So in a recession, what that means is that means the market could also be down, right? So if the market's down and you lose your job, that's a double whammy. And in addition to that, if you have a 401k and you have a large balance in your company stock, and they cut you because your company stock is also down and the stock market's down, that's like a triple whammy effect. So before something bad happens, just know, how to review your investment strategies. And if you're within 5 years of retirement time, it's crucial to have a backup plan and have, 2 to 5 years worth of money set aside in accounts that aren't necessarily subject to market decline. So you have a bucket of money that you could live off of not being in a situation where you're forced to sell off your investments because you were forced into early retirement and it just so happens to be in a down market. And number 5 is you got to stay positive and stay flexible. This is one more event in life. But you got this. I believe in you. You'll get through this. You'll find another opportunity. But if you need a sounding board, you need somebody to talk to and walk you through that forced early retirement. It's something that we've dealt with on a really common situation. We can help you navigate things.
When you look at potential downturns in health, I talk with people all the time, and they basically say, a lot of them have said to me, well, I've outlived both my mother and my father, or I'm 65 and mom died at 70 and dad died at 71. I think I should turn on my Social Security right now because I don't think longevity runs in my genetics. You got to have flexibility. You've got to have the ability to take a look at where you're at and make pivots in the plans that you've made, because a lot of times it doesn't play out exactly the way you hope that it will. I think we're very fortunate here is that we're self-employed. So, if we aren't doing our thing, then it's a self-imposed deal. I can't even imagine working for a private company and having them say, well, I'm sorry, Dave, we don't have a place for you anymore. That would feel like the rug being pulled out from underneath you. But I would say this, if you work with America's Retirement Headquarters, we're going to help you weather the storm and make the appropriate decisions and adjustments that are necessary for you to be able to retire whenever that situation comes up. And you'll be able to do that with a lot of confidence that you're going to be taken care of at all phases of your retirement time.
I said it at the start of this question, and I think I could speak on behalf of Nolan and Dave, and honestly the entire team at America's Retirement Headquarters. We genuinely hope, if it is your desire to work until a certain age, until 70 or whatever, it's your desire to, not out of necessity, but you want to. We hope that is possible. We hope that you get to do that. But as these studies show, it is occasionally taken out of our hand. It is better to go and have a plan in place just in case that situation does arise, whether it's for the positive or the negative, that you do retire early, like a fire extinguisher or a spare tire in your car. Hope you don't have to use it, but you're certainly grateful if you do. Plan ahead, as the Boy Scouts motto is, of course, be prepared. All starts with a phone call. Setting up a time, start developing that plan, 419-794-3030, or the website, which is arhq.com.